everyone, and welcome back to Community Yoga. My name is Lori Brown Miller. We're here at the Fayetteville Public Library, and this is my student this week, Jessica Somerset. I just want to say thank you for showing up and getting on your mat. It's important. If you have any props at home, you might want to gather those up. We'll be using some blocks or maybe a stack of books. If you have a blanket or a towel or a belt or a strap, that would be handy too. So we're going to start on our backs. So if you'll find a comfortable position laying flat. You can rest with the palms up or down, depending on whether you're feeling the need for more grounding. You'll rest with the palms face down on the floor. Or if you're more open to receiving, you can place the palms up. Or maybe place one palm on the low belly and one palm on the heart. Rest with your eyes opened or closed. Take a moment to find the breath. Let the inhales be long. Maybe start a count of 4 as you inhale. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you exhale, count down 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping that breath pattern, continue the long inhale and the equally long exhale. We'll be here for 3 more breaths. This is just a time for you to let go of your day, settle into your mat, and take this next hour for yourself. On your next inhale, we'll take the hands up overhead, lengthening through the feet to the opposite end of the room, reaching through the fingertips. And as you exhale, draw the knees in, maybe wrap the hands around, give yourself a nice hug. You can sway side to side, maybe draw some circles with the knees, giving yourself a little low back massage, release here. Continuing the breath. Always remember to breathe. We're going to take the left foot to the mat. You can place the foot flat or maybe lengthen the leg out straight. Holding on to the right knee, just continue those small circles with the right knee on the hip. And whenever you get to one point, we'll start going the other direction. Always want to make sure we're moving the joints both ways. On your next exhale, holding on to the knee, take the knee all the way to the right. Flex the foot. Relax the shoulders and the face. Maybe look to your left if that's comfortable on the neck. On your next inhale, draw the knee to center. I'm going to bend my left leg so I can scoop my hips a little bit to the right. Straightening that leg again, we're going to take the right hip across the body. Working to keep that right shoulder on the mat. If not, that's okay. Just bring the right hand to the right hip so that shoulder and arm can relax. Maybe look to your right. Next inhale will bring us back to center. If you shifted your hips, bring them back to the center of the mat. Right foot will meet the mat. Bring the left knee in. Maybe straighten the right leg if you had it straight on the other side. Starting small circles with the left hip, the left knee. Making sure you circle in both directions, so whenever you're ready, switch switch the direction of your circle. And then we're going to take the knee out to the left. Maybe look right. Again, if that's comfortable on your neck. Bringing the left knee back to center again. I'm going to bend the knee, switch or scoop my hips to the left so that I can cross the body with the left knee over to the right. Working to get that left shoulder on the mat if you can, or take the left hand to the left hip. Let that left arm relax. Maybe take your gaze left. On your next inhale, coming back to center, we'll plant both feet, setting up for bridge. Arms can plant down beside you, palms flat on the mat, press down through the arms, or you can bend at the elbows with the fingertips facing the ceiling. Your feet want to be about hip distance apart. If you have a block, you can squeeze the block between the thighs to keep some engagement in the legs. Pressing down through the feet and down through the upper arm bones. On your inhale, lift the hips. As you exhale, lower back down. We'll take this move dynamically. Inhaling brings the hips up. Exhale, slowly lowers. Keep moving with your breath. We'll do 3 more. Inhale, lift. Exhaling, lower. Try not to squeeze the glutes as you lift so that the hips don't rotate open. We want to use the legs. Last one, we'll hold as we lift. Inhale, reach up. Hips stay lifted. Press down through the feet, down through the arms. 2 more breaths here. If that's too much, you're more than welcome to lower the hips. Yoga is all about what's good for your body. You know it better than anyone else. Exhale, slowly lower. On your inhale, draw the knees in. Take it side to side, rock back and forth, circle, whatever feels good. We're going to start slowly rocking back and forth to a seated position. Take as many rock and rolls as you need. When you're seated, if you need a blanket or a prop to help sit up a little bit, you can always fold up a towel. I have a blanket here. You can roll up the mat as well. That's always something that if you're doing your yoga, you have the mat. You can always roll it up to sit on it to get the hips a little higher. Sometimes that helps soften the hips. The knees will drop a little lower. Draw the shoulders down the back. On your inhale, we're going to reach the hands up. Maybe look up. As you exhale, the left hand will meet the floor, right hand will reach up and over, find a side stretch. You're going to press down through the right hip, reach up through the right hand, carrying the ribs away from the hip. Maybe take a gaze at the right elbow. And again, if that's not comfortable on your neck, you can look in any direction that is comfortable. Inhale, reaches back up through center. As you exhale, right hand reaches down, left arm reaches up and over. Again, lengthening through the side body. You want to press down on the left hip, reach up with the left arm. Maybe take the gaze up, maybe not. Inhale, comes back to center. As you exhale, we're going to take the right hand to the left knee. Left fingertips come behind you. Sit up tall. Use those fingertips to help sit up tall. And then take a twist. Left shoulder reaches back. The gaze can look back over the left shoulder, or maybe you're looking in front or to the side. Just a nice gentle twist here. Inhale comes to center, reaching up. As you exhale, take it to the other side. Right fingertips press into the floor. Right shoulder draws back. Again, gaze where it's comfortable for you. As you inhale, coming back to center. I'm going to take my hands on the shins. You can have them on the knees. It's a matter of preference, moving through some cat and cow. On the inhale, lift the heart, look up. And as you exhale, round the spine like a mad cat, drawing the back of the heart towards the back of the room. Inhale, lifts the heart and the gaze. Exhale, rounds the spine. 2 more times with your breath. On your next inhale, finding a neutral spine, we're going to come over onto hands and knees. So you'll plant the hands, remove any props from your mat unless you want cushion under your knees. You can always have the blanket or towel under your knees as well. From here, spread the fingers wide, shoulders are over the wrist, hips are over the knees. We're going to take the right leg up and behind us. Reach through that right heel. Make sure the hips stay square, so you don't want to rotate the right hip up and open. You want that hip point, the hip bone, facing the mat. If you want to take it one step further, press down through that right hand, maybe extend the left arm. Breathe here, keep pressing into the right arm. Reach through both the heel and the fingers if they're lifted. As you exhale, all 4 meet the floor. Inhale, left leg lifts. Flex the foot like you're going to stamp the wall behind you or something behind you. And then maybe think about reaching forward with the right hand. Bicep should be in line with the ear. This is a little bit of a balance check here. Keep pressing into that left hand. Don't drop into the left shoulder. As you exhale, slowly release. Bring the big toes together, the heels wide, or the knees wide apart. Sitting back on the heels, find child's pose. Arms can reach forward, or you can bring the arms to the heels. Forehead meets the mat. If your forehead doesn't meet the mat, you can grab a block or some books to help bring the floor to you. 2 breaths here. Child's pose is a resting pose. If at any time during your practice you feel like you need to take a break, this is always a great place to be. If this is uncomfortable on your hips, you can always find a comfortable seated position as well. Again, yoga is for you. I'm here to offer suggestions. On your next inhale, reaching the hands back forward if they went behind you to your heels. Find all 4s once more. Tabletop position. We're going to take the right leg, the knee bent, up and back. We're going to create some circles with the right hip. So you're going to take the knee out and down and then back up and around. We'll do 3 on each side. If you haven't guessed already, this is going to be a little bit of a hip practice. And then we're going to take the circles the other direction. So you'll take the right knee out, back, and then down. If this is uncomfortable on your wrist, you can always do fists where your wrists are not bent. Switching sides whenever you've done 3 rotations on each side on the right. We're going to do the same with the left, lifting the left knee back, around, and down. Move with the breath. Your inhale will lift up. Exhale will bring it around. And then switch, going out, up, and down. I always find it difficult to switch rotations. I get confused in my circles. From here, bring both knees to the floor. Press into the hands, tuck the toes. We'll find our first downward facing dog of the practice. Hips lift up and back. Press into the hands, spread the fingers wide, and like you're going to scoot your mat forward. You want to send your energy into the hands, pushing forward. Extend from wrist to shoulders, shoulders to hips, pressing the sit bones up and back, and then relax the heels. Relax your head and neck. You can shake the head yes and no. Let go of any tension that might be hiding out there. One more breath here. And then as you inhale, come to hands and knees. Exhale, child's pose. We're going to create our first movement sequence, and we're just going to move between downward facing dog and child's pose. So on your inhale, you'll come up to hands and knees. Tuck the toes, exhale, downward facing dog. Next inhale brings you back to hands and knees. Continue to move with your breath, pausing anywhere that you feel sticky, that you might need to just hold a little bit longer. Inhaling to hands and knees. Exhaling will take you to child's pose or downward facing dog, depending on where you are. The next time you're in downward facing dog, pause for stillness. On your inhale, we'll take the right leg up and behind us, reaching through that right heel. As you exhale, draw the knee into the chest, shifting forward over the wrists. We're going to step that right foot through. Drop the back knee, so your left knee is down. Your hands can stay on the floor, maybe on blocks if that's more comfortable. You can bring the hands to the hips. You can bring the hands to the thigh, or maybe reach biceps by the ears. Wherever you are, press into that right foot so that the right hip draws back. Maybe you scoot your right foot forward so that the left hip can sink a little more. We're looking at getting into those hip flexors. If any of you have day jobs, office jobs, you might sit a lot. This is really good to counteract that sitting. On your exhale, bring the hands down. We're going to shift the hips back, finding a hamstring stretch. You want the left hip over the left knee. Right foot may need to scoot forward some to keep that integrity of the bones being stacked on the left leg. Flex and point the toe. Decide what feels best for you, and then hang out there for a moment. Again, blocks can be used to help bring the floor to you if you're not reaching the mat. Next inhale, slowly walk forward. We're going to tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, take that right leg back, find downward facing dog. On your next inhale, the left leg will lift. Same thing, opposite side. Left knee brings into the chest. Step between the hands. Drop that back knee. Again, hands can be on the mat, on blocks, on the thigh, or maybe reach bicep beside the ears. Draw the shoulders down the back. Press into that left foot. And then sink the right hip. One more breath here, and we'll take our hamstring stretch. On your next exhale, hands come down, shift the hips back. Again, find blocks or books if you need some stacks of things to bring the floor to you. Right knee and hip should be in alignment. You can point and flex the front foot and decide what feels best. You want to draw the belly down towards the thigh. The chest and heart reaches forward towards the toes so that you maintain a long low back and it's not rounded. Next inhale, bending into that front leg. Slowly come back to the hands. Tuck the right toes, step it back with the left foot, find downward facing dog. From here, we're going to make our way to the tops of the mat. You can do so by taking a big step to the hands. You can tiptoe the feet to the hands. Wherever you are, find a forward fold. Relax the head and neck. Shake the head yes or no. You can even fold the arms here, bend the knees, finding a ragdoll, swaying side to side. On your inhale, bringing the fingertips to the shins, lift halfway, draw the crown of the head forward, the hips press back, exhale, fold. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhaling, halfway lift. Crown of the head reaches forward, shoulders reach back. Fold on the exhale. 1 last time. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, folds. Our next inhale is going to bring us to standing. You can roll up, you can slowly come up, you can stand up. Just be mindful of being upside down and the blood rushing to your head or out of your head and being dizzy. Stepping to the top of the mat, we're going to work through a few sun salutations. Find your mountain pose. You're going to ground down through the feet, the inner and outer heel, big toe mound, pinky toe mound. Activate the legs, so your quads are going to fire up, and you're going to want to act like you're ripping the mat apart with your feet so that the hips are engaged as well. Lift the chest, shoulders draw down the back, palms can face forward, palms can come to the heart. It's mountain pose, however you feel comfortable. Crown of the head lifts tall. On your next inhale, reach the hands up. As you exhale, forward fold. Hinging at the hips in that fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant both hands, step the right foot back. We're going to find either high or low lunge. You can drop the knee or you can come up to a high crescent lunge. Again, hands can be anywhere you're comfortable. They can be on the hips, at the heart, or reaching up. As you exhale, we'll take the hands to the mat. Step the left foot back to meet the right. Find downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. You can pedal it out, move one leg, bending the other. On your next inhale, the right leg will lift. As you exhale, we're going to step it to the front of the mat, finding that lunge on the opposite side. So if your knee was up, leave it up. If your knee was down, lower the left knee. Arms extend, or maybe they rest at the heart or on the hips. As you exhale, hands are going to come to the mat. Step the left foot forward to meet the right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folds. Inhale, reach up all the way to standing. Lengthen. And as you exhale, bring the hands to the sides or to the heart. Find that mountain pose. Re-engage the legs. Draw the shoulders down. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Inhale, reaches up. Exhale, folds. Inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, we'll step back with the left foot first this time. Again, high or low lunge. Back knee up or down. Find your balance. You want to squeeze the legs towards each other. Hands can be at the hips and the heart or extended bicep beside the ears. We're going to add on 1 step here. As you exhale, hands come down. It's actually multiple steps. Take the right foot back to meet the left. Find plank or top of a push-up. Your knees can be up or down. Shoulders are over the wrists. If your knees are off the mat, you want to press through the heels. 1 breath here. Next exhale, we're going to lower all the way onto our bellies. Elbows squeeze in and back. Finding our back bend or cobra pose. Palms come to the side, come under the shoulders. Pressing down. Press down through all 10 toes. On your inhale, heart lifts. Doesn't take a lot. Just want to lift the heart, maybe look forward a couple inches in front of your mat. As you exhale, release. We'll take Cobra 2 more times. Inhale, lifts the heart. Press down through the feet. Draw the front ribs in. Exhale, release. Last time here, inhale, lifts. Pause for as long as you like. Maybe press into the hands, lift a little higher. Exhale, release. On your inhale, press up through hands and knees. We'll sit back to the heels, find child's pose. 3 breaths here. On your next inhale, we'll move through hands and knees, finding downward facing dog. On your inhale, the left leg will lift. Exhale, step between the hands. Find that lunge on the opposite side, knee up or down. Legs squeeze towards one another, shoulders draw down the back. As you exhale, hands come to the mat, step the right foot to meet the left. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, folds. Inhale, sweeps the hands up all the way to standing. Reach up, lengthen the sides. Exhale the hands to the heart. Next inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. As you exhale, fold, plant the hands, step the right foot back, find your lunge. Inhale, reaches up. Exhale, the hands come down. Left foot meets the right, we'll find plank position, top of a push-up. 1 breath here. As you exhale, we're going to lower onto the bellies, finding our back bend. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, lowers. Tucking the toes, press up through hands and knees, we'll find down dog. On the inhale, right leg will lift. Exhale, step between the hands. Inhale, lifts up. Exhale, the hands meet the mat. Step forward, forward fold. Half lift on an inhale, refold on an exhale. Inhale, reaches up to standing. Exhale, the hands to the heart. 2 breaths here. If you've lost your breath, maybe you can catch it. Let it slow down. I possibly did whenever I did this. Is it working now? The green. Coming to hands and knees. Tuck the toes, find downward facing dog. Is it working? Sorry about that. I hit the off button apparently. Oh, technology's fun. On your next inhale, bend the knees, work your way to the top of your mat. You can again take a big step, take little steps, find a forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. As you exhale, fold. Inhale, reaches up to standing. Lengthen the sides, hands to the heart, or actually to the hips, and I'll try not to touch that button when apparently I hit earlier. We're gonna find tree pose, so we're gonna move to some balancing poses. If you need to move somewhere within your room that you can hold on to a wall, or maybe grab a chair to hold on to help with balance, that's always an option. Grounding down through the left foot, we're gonna kickstand the right toes. This could be your tree pose. You want the knee pointing out. You want the hips level, so you don't want to hike that right hip up to compensate for standing or lifting the leg. Maybe you bring the right foot to the calf. You can always also have books or a block to place your toes on, or maybe you can bring the foot up to the thigh, or for some of those advanced yogis, they can find half lotus here. Draw the shoulders down the back, pull the belly in, and maybe grow some limbs. Don't worry about swaying back and forth, because naturally that's what trees are meant to do. And I'm like swaying like crazy. Breathing here. As you exhale, we're going to bring the hands to the heart, bring the right knee forward. From here, we're going to straighten the right leg, finding warrior three. So hands can stay at the heart, they can be on the hips. You want to reach through that right heel. As you lift the right leg, you want to slowly hinge at the hips, folding forward. You want to make sure your body's acting like a seesaw. When the leg lifts, the torso folds. Inhale, slowly come back to standing, and we'll switch sides. Planting the right foot. Maybe kickstanding the left toes. You might find the left foot on the calf or even on the thigh. Just try not to place the foot on the knee so that you don't press the knee in a direction it doesn't like to go. Press foot into thigh or foot into leg, leg into foot. Shoulders draw down the back, maybe hands at the heart, or maybe reach up once again, finding that balance. Thinking tall, lengthening through the crown of the head. One more breath in tree, and we'll move on to warrior three. Hands come to the heart, knee comes forward. We're going to straighten that left leg behind us, and your warrior three may be right here with the toes barely on the mat. You're working on balance. Maybe you can extend that left leg back. As you do so, you're hinging at the hips, letting the heart reach forward, crown of the head reach forward. Hands can come to the hips. Maybe they reach back. Maybe it reaches forward. One more breath. Inhale, slowly come back. Shake out the standing leg. You can do little hip sways, wiggle back and forth. Whatever feels good. We're going to come back to the tops of our mat and work our way down onto the floor for a little bit of back bending. Finding your mountain pose, ground down through the feet, activate the legs, shoulders draw down the back, crown of the head reaches up. Next inhale, reaches up. Exhale, forward fold. On your inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, fold, plant the hands, step one foot back at a time, find downward facing dog. Pressing into the hands like you're going to scoot the mat forward, Lengthen from the wrist to shoulder, shoulder to hips, pressing the sit bones up and back. Relax the heels, relax the head. 2 more breaths here. On your next inhale, shifting to plank or top of a push-up or hands and knees. Finding strength here. Press into the hands, press the floor away, press through the back of the heels. And as you exhale, slowly lower onto the mat, elbows squeeze in and back. Finding a wide cobra, we're going to take the hands off the mat with little tents, like some people call them spider hands. I like to say, like, you've got cupcakes underneath them, you don't want to squash your cupcakes. Shoulders draw down and back, lengthen through the legs, and as you inhale, we'll lift the heart, press into the fingertips, pull the belly in, exhale, lower. If this is not your cup of tea, bring the hands back under the shoulders as we done earlier before. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, release. One more time here. Inhale, lifts. Exhale, release. Bringing your forehead to the mat, we're going to take the hands behind us towards the hips, palms face down. Lengthening out through the legs, we're going to bring the big toes together. Squeeze the legs in. Squeeze the shoulder blades so that the shoulder heads move back into the sockets. On your inhale, lift the feet. And if this is comfortable, on your inhale, lift the head. If this is uncomfortable in the back, bring the forehead back down to the mat. Pressing into the hands, lengthen through the feet, lengthen through the heart. Exhale, slowly release. Stacking maybe the hands on top of each other, bring the forehead or a cheek to the mat. Taking 2 breaths here. Maybe bend the knees, let the feet windshield wiper back and forth. On your next inhale, we'll do that one more time with an option to take the hands clasped behind you. Bringing the feet together, lengthen out through the legs. First inhale, legs lift. Next inhale, if it's available, heart lifts. If your hands are clasped, think about drawing your fingers towards the heels. Feel the lift in the heart, the back doing some work. Head to the opposite side. Maybe bend the knees. Let the feet swipe back and forth for a little low back release. On your next inhale, bringing the hands beneath the shoulders, we're going to press up and back, finding child's pose. In your child's pose, the closer your knees are together, the more low back release you will get. So you can adjust the knees wider apart. We'll get into your hips. As you fold over the knees, if they're closer together, you'll feel the difference in the back. Small changes can make big differences in a lot of yoga poses. 3 breaths here. Bringing the hands out in front, we're going to come to hands and knees. We're going to take a similar lunge to how we did at the beginning of class, except this time we're going to, from downward facing dog, we're going to bring the leg outside of the hand. So we're going to take it a little bit wider. Here, you can come onto the fists if you need some more straightening in the wrists. You can leave the back knee up, and you could take the back knee down. It's a personal preference how much work you want to do, really. The back knee lifted is going to be more work. If you're not digging work today, bring it to the mat. Squeeze the left knee towards the left shoulder. Breathe. And then everybody, if your knee is lifted, bring it down to the mat. We're going to move into that hamstring stretch just a little wider, gets into the hip as well. So as you exhale, we're going to send the hips back. You can flex the left foot. Inhale, brings everything back forward. We'll move through this a couple of times, so do with your breath. Exhale, hips go back. Inhale, hips come forward. Last time here. One more time when the hips go back. You can pause, hang out here for a minute if you'd like. If it's too much, come back with the knee bent. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Tucking the right toes, bring that right knee up. Left foot meets the right, finding down dog. On your inhale, the right leg will lift. As you exhale, step the right foot outside, the right pinky. And again, you can stay on the hands. Right knee squeezes into the right shoulder. Maybe your left knee is up, maybe it's down. As you exhale, everyone brings the left knee down. We're going to shift the hips back. Maybe grab blocks. If you notice this side is different than the other, my right hip is always tighter. Slowly come back, finding that low lunge. Exhale, send the hip back. Inhale comes forward. Last time here, again, you can hold, maybe enjoy this little hippie hamstring stretch. Or if you're like, I don't enjoy that at all, bend the knee. Find yourself back in downward facing dog for our last downward facing dog of the practice. You can tuck the back toes, send the right foot back. Shake the head yes or no. Let the neck relax some more. On the inhale, we'll come to hands and knees, making our way to a seat. Again, I'm going to grab my blanket, my blankie. What I feel like. I'm going to grab my blankie. Bringing the legs out straight in front of you. Again, sitting up on the blanket kind of helps the hips get a little higher, allows folding to be a little more accessible. Maybe you don't have a problem folding in your hips. Just do all the things. I like my blanket. Bringing the hands beside you, press into the floor. Sit up really tall, flex both feet. Inhale, reaches the hands up. And as you exhale, we're going to take the hands wherever they will reach, be it your shins, your ankles, your toes. Using our breath to work into our fold. On the inhale, we're going to lift the heart like we're halfway lift. And as you exhale, draw the belly down towards the thighs. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, belly draws down, heart reaches for the toes. Relax the head and neck. Next inhale slowly comes upright. We're going to take the right leg inside the left thigh, taking it where the right knee points towards the right. So you might want to scoot it back a little further. You want the right knee in line with the right hip. From here, you're sort of facing diagonal. So we want to take our heart and bring it towards the left leg. Inhale, reaches the hands up. As you exhale, again, we're just going where our hands can reach. We're not forcing anything. We want the right knee and the right hip to stay grounded. So maybe you take that right hand on the right thigh just as a reminder to stay on the floor. Belly draws down towards the thigh, the left thigh. Heart reaches for the left toes. Relax the head and neck. On your next inhale, slowly coming up, bringing the left hand inside the left leg. Right hand comes to the right hip. Open the shoulders towards the right wall. Right arm can reach up. Maybe it reaches over towards the toes, that long side stretch on the right side. Or you might take the right hand around the low back. Helps keep that right shoulder open. Slowly coming up on an inhale, we're going to straighten the right leg, shake them out, move to where we can do the same on the left-hand side. So the left foot, right leg is straight, left foot comes into the right thigh, your left knee is in line with your left hip, taking the heart, turning it towards the right leg, reaching up, and as you exhale, reach forward. Belly draws down. Chest and heart reaches for the toes. Maybe you have your left hand on your left thigh as a reminder to keep that thigh grounded. Relax the head and neck. Bring the right hand inside the right leg. We're going to open the left shoulder towards the left. And again, your left arm can reach up. Maybe it stays just reaching up. Maybe you reach over towards the toes. Or my favorite is reaching around the back. Again, take the gaze wherever it's comfortable on your neck. That can be up, that can be straight ahead or down. Slowly coming back, upright. We're going to straighten both legs, shake it out, and we'll make our way onto our backs. I don't have a fancy way to get there besides just lowering down. From here, draw the knees into the chest. Give a nice rock side to side, back and forth. We're going to place the left leg on the mat, crossing the right ankle over the left. Flex the right foot, and then slowly draw the left knee towards the left shoulder. From here, we're going to take the right hand around the left thigh on the inside, and then the left hand around the outside. You can interlace the fingers, or maybe this is where you use a towel or a strap to wrap around the left thigh, or you might even take the hands on top of the shin of the left foot, or the left shin. Use that right elbow to maybe press the leg away on the right side, getting into the outer hip. This is a nice variation of pigeon. If you don't like full pigeon where you are upright, this is a good way to do it on your back. Gets the same area. As you exhale, slowly bring the left foot back to the mat. We're going to take a twist here. You can either cross the right leg all the way over and take the knees to the left. You can take the right foot as it is and just plant it on the mat or maybe on a block with both knees bent. Or if none of that is an option, uncross the legs, take both knees to the left to find a twist. Take the gaze to the right if that's comfortable on the neck. On your next inhale, bringing everything back to center. Uncross the legs if they're still crossed. Plant the right foot, bring the left ankle to the right knee. Draw the right knee towards the right shoulder. Taking the left hand in between the legs around the thigh, the right hand on the outside of the right thigh, or maybe reaching onto the shin. You can use that left elbow to press into the left leg, pressing that leg away. Keep both feet flexed, protecting the knee joints. As you exhale, the right foot will meet the mat. Find the cross or uncross the legs that's best for you, bringing the knees to the right. You can extend the arms out if that's comfortable, or maybe look to the left. On your inhale, coming back to center, planting both feet, setting up for bridge pose once again. Bringing the hands down beside the hips. We won't move dynamically this time. We'll just take 2 bridge poses at your leisure. Press down through the feet, down through the upper arm bones, lift the hips. Pause here. I would suggest 3 breaths, but you're welcome to hold it longer. Try not to squeeze the glutes. We don't want the hips rotating open. We want the energy coming out of the hips through the knees, like you're going to press the knees towards the opposite side of the room, but yet squeeze your feet towards your glutes to activate the hamstrings. And whenever you're ready, slowly release. You can rock the knees side to side, get a little bit windshield wiper action, some low back release here, and we'll set up for one more bridge. Planting the feet, planting the arms. Whenever you're ready at your own pace, lift on an inhale. You can always take a block or some books underneath the sacrum to make this more restorative, where you have something for your back to rest on. You still want to keep pressing down through the feet and down through the arms. Taking it however you like. Whenever you're ready, slowly release. You can hold longer. You could have let go or skipped it altogether. Draw the knees into the chest. Rock side to side, back and forth. If you have available wall space in your home, you can move to a wall for this next option of legs up the wall. Or if you are like us in the middle of a room, we're going to take waterfall. I like to tuck my hands underneath my hips, or a block will also, or books will do the same trick. Bringing them up, relax the hands wherever they may rest. Letting the blood circulate in the opposite direction, giving the heart a little bit of a break, not having to pump it to your feet. Whenever you're ready to find Shavasana, remove any props from your mat, or our final resting pose, corpse pose. You can have the knees bent with the feet wide. Let the knees fall in. This is really good to take any pressure off the low back. Bringing the palms again, either face up or face down, or resting on the body. However you can find yourself, less fidgeting. Try not to move about. Find one position that you can rest in for the next 5 or 10 minutes. Your Shavasana can be taken on your time. Let the face relax. Let the shoulders sink. Let the breath return to normal. Feel the hips and the legs supported by the mat beneath you. Let any thoughts pass by like floating clouds. I know our time is coming to an end here for the live stream, but you can feel free to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you like. Take this time for yourself. Let the practice absorb. And I appreciate and am very grateful for this program and for you all always showing up, even when you can't be in the room with us. Namaste.